Welcome to Stuff You Missed in History Class, a production of iHeartRadio.
Hello and happy Friday. I'm Tracy V. Wilson.
And I'm Holly Fry.
Just had our latest Unearthed.
Yes, indeed.
While I was working on this, one of the things that we talked about was this child who found a dagger on the playground. There is one photo of this child that has been used in all of the news reporting about this. And I sincerely hope that this child is not now and is never embarrassed about this photo and in fact finds it to be awesome. I find it awesome. The expression, like the facial expression, is very much, I do not want to be here. And I found it delightful.
My read, she looks very much like she has had it with all the ding-dongs clustering around her trying to talk about a thing when she's like, can I go play now?
Right. Yeah.
That's definitely
it's a great picture. So as is often the case, there's often trends in the things that I'm finding when I'm doing the research on this. We have previously talked about how we don't really cover coin hoards on here because there are so many of them and they are often so similar. And so we really only talk about a coin hoard if there is something unique or distinctive or important about it. I mean, you could say all finds are important, but like the one time that we read off all of the coin hoard finds of that quarter, it was a lot of them. This time, Roman stuff. We talked about a number of Roman things, but one of the things about Rome is that the Roman Empire was very big and they built a lot of stuff. And so there's a lot of Roman stuff getting dug up all the time. And in addition to the Roman things that we talked about, here are things from the document entitled Summer Unearthed 2023 Maybe. Some of these things that I'm about to read off may be the same thing. Because I did not get into further research into all of these, but here we go. Roman mosaic under Aldi, really from March, ? Roman mosaic under a vape shop. Other Roman pieces. A Roman site under a train station. Heads in a Roman bathhouse. Roman butcher shop. Roman tweezers. OMG, so much Roman this time. Coins. Near a train, Roman, more. Stacked Roman mosaics. Flat-faced dogs, ? This was about how Romans may have bred dogs with flat faces. Roman temple in France. Roman camps in Saudi Arabia, ? Roman barrier, London. Roman perfume. And Roman amphora, Virgil quote.
So what you're saying is a lot of Roman stuff.
So much Roman stuff. And some of those things, as I just read through all of them, I was like, oh, that does sound interesting. I should have put that in there. Like the perfume, turns out made of patchouli.
Roman hippies.
There was just so much. And you could tell from my tone as I was just, because I make this list that's just like a few words and a link. As I'm going through and there's stuff that I'm like, not sure. And then as I get later into the process, I'll like go back through the not sure stuff to find more things. And there was just so much stuff, not just Roman, but things that were described as a Roman whatever, found in whatever. Ton of them.
The listener mail that you read on the first installment that talked about spelling bees unlocked a memory for me that was like, you know how they're like, I don't know, I presume everyone has these, like moments of childhood embarrassment or shame that you just lock away in you. And this is a weird one because it was during a spelling bee after I had moved from the Pacific Northwest to the Panhandle of Florida. And when it was my turn, the word was mint. M-I-N-T, easy as pie.
Did they say it meant?
No. what they meant was meant, but their Southern accent was something I did not understand.
Oh,
and
no.
so I was so embarrassed that I missed it, and I felt like the stupidest child on earth that I missed what was a simple thing. And I also had the combined thing of wishing that I had challenged it, but I didn't want to make anybody mad by going, I don't understand your accent. And I was like, it was like one of those things that like I had a movie like
Oh, no.
flashback. No, it's funny now because I'm an adult. I'm like, who cares?
Yeah.
But at the time, I remember just being heartbroken. Mint.
Yeah. So the memory I had in response to this email was a unit in the classroom. I'm pretty sure what we were talking about was long vowels and short vowels. And we had a little worksheet. We were having to note which vowels were the long vowels and which vowels were the short vowels. And one of the words was ether. And this would have been like elementary school. I had never heard the word ether at that. I don't know
Yeah,
why.
that doesn't seem like a word that would be.
I feel like had I been of an earlier generation, I might have heard the word ether in conjunction with having my tonsils removed or something. But I don't feel like that was a word that was like in common usage among children at this point. So I sounded it out as ether because
that seems logical as heck to me.
Seems fine. And I remember the teacher being like, do you not know what ether is? And I was like, no. Things I still remember.
Ugh,
decades
the
later.
weirdest.
Yeah, do not feel bad for sending us an email that caused us to both remember childhood embarrassments.
No, I mean, listen, everybody has childhood embarrassments.
Yeah, we're all in it together with that.
I actually think it's great to unlock them and discuss them because then you realize, like, that's a completely normal mistake to make.
Yeah.
That thing that you carried around and felt embarrassed and ashamed of is not important, one, most of the time. And two, was completely reasonable for you to have done. You're a kid. That's what learning is.
Yep. And I was real good at sounding stuff out. I'd been doing it since I was like 4. Mm-hmm. So, yeah. Also like a chance to give another rabies PSA. Every time that I look at social media and suddenly there's people talking about rabies, I'm like, uh-oh, what happened?
I thought you were about to call me out for posting all the raccoons I lured to my deck.
It does though. So I feel like you know about rabies, and if one of those,
I'm not.
Yeah, if
listen,
one of those
are
raccoons,
they cute? Do I want to kiss them? Yes. Am I going to? No.
Yeah, there are. Sometimes the TikTok algorithm will show me something that frankly stresses me out, and one of them is like people out in their yards kind of socializing with the raccoons. And I'm like, rabies. There was one recently that was somebody recording from their porch. A mother bear and cubs coming onto the porch also.
Thank you.
And I said out loud, what are you doing?
Again, perfectly reasonable.
Yeah. In addition to the fact that it's not advisable to potentially get in between a mother bear and cubs. Not a great idea. Also not great to habituate bears to human beings.
No.
Not a good plan. And it was clear that this person had been advised of this by many people because they had disabled all of their comments. So anyway, don't pet raccoons. Don't hang out with bears. If you get bitten by an animal that's at risk for rabies, seek medical care.
Yeah.
Those are some PSAs for the day. These episodes continue to be fun. I hope folks continue to enjoy them. I had some rabbit holes this time about how to pronounce things. And I hope we did okay with all of the pronouncing. As always, we do our best. And then sometimes we're in the middle of talking about it and it's like, wait a minute, what did
Which of these is correct? I'm not sure anymore. Yeah, all the
I
time.
also wrote a couple of things in this one where as we, recorded the episode out loud, I was suddenly like, wait a minute, that thing that I wrote does not make any sense.
That happens all the time. I made you do a pickup recently because I wrote a phrase that made no sense, and we didn't catch it in recording. And then in QA, I was like, why would anybody put it that way? And that was you read it exactly as I had written it. I, Holly Fry, complete ding dong.
It reminds me of when our jobs were editing text that would be articles on the web that people would read.
Mm-hmm.
And like one of the things that I would give as advice about, training new editors was to read the work out loud because you will catch things that you would not catch otherwise. And that continues to be true now that we write things that then we read into a microphone.
Yes, because the brain will autocorrect writing.
Sure will.
But if you get your ears involved too, they will usually be like, that doesn't sound quite right.
Does not make sense. No, that's not the word you thought that you typed there. Anyway, I hope whatever is happening on this weekend, whether it is working time for you or off time, I hope it goes as well as possible. We will be back with a Saturday Classic tomorrow with something brand new on Monday. And if you'd like, you can drop us an email at historypodcast@iheartradio.com. Stuff You Missed in History Class is a production of iHeartRadio. For more podcasts from iHeartRadio, visit the iHeartRadio app, Apple Podcasts, or wherever you listen to your favorite shows.